Welcome to the commentary for Destroy the Planet, talking about Twisted.
I'm gonna break this world I take. It's not the way. It's not the way. I've got nothing, not a piece of my hand. My ways been shifted. And the pain I bring upon myself, it doesn't indicate that I'm a twisted.
This song is, all the songs are my favorite song, but this one was really fun. It was a really fun one to write. It's about a Transformers episode, like Transformer cartoon, 80s cartoons. I wrote this actually in another band. We were waiting for our other guitar player to show up, and we were all watching cartoons. And this one was where the Decepticons, I put a plague on the Autobots and made them evil. And that was what the song was about. And so much so that even the pig scrapes before the verses, that was my the Transformer sound. Really trying to kind of get that in there, but and that's what the song is about. But I think it fits our band. It's definitely end of the world, maniacal, guy trying to end the world kind of song. So it definitely is, I think, kind of our band's theme song. So that's why it's first on the album. Kind of the fun thing about this one was a friend of ours, Pete Bursich, did the did the narration at the beginning of the tune. That was a great time. I think we were all there. We were all there when he did it. That was pretty fun.
Yep.
I feel bad because I gave him like a 37-second script, and then he did it, and he did it great. He was actually a really good sport about it. Those of you guys who don't know who Pete Bursich is, former football player, former football coach. He's played tons of stuff with the Vikings. He's on Fox Sunday, and he on the radio. He's on KFan a lot. A lot of stuff Vikings related. I'm a big Vikings fan. But he is also in a metal band with some other friends of ours. So he's in Fookie. And so he was pretty stoked to come and help us with anything we needed. I actually texted him about 5 months before we did this, and he didn't get a response. I don't think I had his phone number because I'm a fan, but I don't know, he didn't know who he was from, but about 4 days before we needed him to be there, or else we wouldn't have had it, he responded, it's like, I am doing this, don't ask anybody else to do this. And we had another person we were going to ask, but he was our first choice, and I'm glad we didn't give up hope, because he came in there and killed it. I think he did 40-some takes of it, and not because he needed to. He had actually practiced that script, he rehearsed it, he had it down, but we changed his role. Like, if you guys remember back when we
it was fun to coach him, because we're like, okay, do it in the style as if you're a military sergeant. Do it in the style as if you're the president. You're trying to tell all your people what's going on.
That was the thing too, is that when we wrote the script for him, he was going to do it as like just a radio announcer. Like he was like Dan Rather, Walter Cronkite kind of thing.
Big voice.
Just saying this line, and then he said it so well that we decided to do like he did a fellow Americans, and then said the line.
This broadcast signals the final alert as we are about to face the very real potential for complete global annihilation. Brace for immediate disintegration. The attack is imminent.
I think I said something like, imagine if you were Franklin Roosevelt giving a speech, kind of how they would do it in the 40s and everything. I can't.
Well, and then I believe what happened was that we were trying to see if he could recite this in German. That was our cat, Noodles, by the way. Just having fun with what we're doing.
Well, I thought more of a People of Earth had a more global appeal.
That's what it was. And I think I want to credit him with it. I think he did the People of Earth
I think I'm pretty much the one who put it.
Okay. So
mean-
when I single-handedly came up with the People of Earth line, no, somebody was saying he should do it in German or something, and and then because we thought that like fellow Americans wouldn't transpire to be an international album, so somebody came up with it.
I think I might have said something about that. It's not just about America; it's about the whole planet. And then you came up with Earth, and so we just kind of eventually we're correcting Trent right now.
I had been drinking. I don't really recall, but I do remember that as soon as Pete did the People of Earth line, then I was like, wait a second, this isn't the president addressing this. This is the alien, whatever it is, addressing it, and so
No, this song it's too important for it to just be to any one nation.
So essentially, we took this like 37 second script that we had for him, and we kind of trimmed it down because what we were going to do is it was actually going to be its own track on the album. It was going to be like track 1 would have been this intro, and then track 2 would have been Twisted. And then as it just worked out, it made sense to just keep it as one track. Like this just belongs with this song. But the issue is if you have it as a separate track, people are just going to skip it every time. After you heard it, 8 times, then you don't need to hear it the 9th time. So then it's like, well, we want to make it part of the track so it's not skipped. And then it was like, well, if you have a minute long intro to a song, then people are going to skip the whole song. So we chopped it up quite a bit, but we got most of it in there. One thing it's sad that got cut is Pete's dramatic pauses that he had in there. He really delivered this really well, but we cut it short. But we will post his full video. I think it is actually on YouTube.
Limited release.
We'll post a full version, but I think there is a phone video on YouTube right now of him doing some of it. That was really just fun. So.
Yeah, he knocked it out of the park.
People of Earth, impending doom threatens our foreseeable future. Brace for immediate disintegration. The attack is imminent.
We thank you, Pete, for helping us with that. You can have another thing on your resume. I think that would just be enough for me, really. Like that was where we hit a certain level of stardom, is that we became a line on Pete Bursage's resume. Like that was like that we get a credit there. Like yeah. So
what about the bass synth in there?
So there's 2 synths, and that was really kind of fun. So some of the tracks we actually created from home. We actually were we did all the drums at the studio. We did about half the bass at the studio. This one you did 100% at the studio. Guitars, all rhythm guitars were done at the studio. Some of the leads we did at home. It's just easier to do at home, faster, and then we can make our own choices and go at our own pace. And I can wake up at 4 in the morning and do them. That's when I seem to play better. This song actually had a synth line through it, and it was really terrible. But it had like this synth like a Korg micro synth line through the whole song. And
It's cool in small doses.
Yeah, but it went through, and I don't know if you got to hear it that day that I brought it to the studio, and we played the whole thing, and we're like, I was kind of geeking out on it because I played it, and I'm not really good of a keyboardist, but I played it, and I was really excited, and then we laid it down, and it was like that doesn't fit, it's too much, and there's too many things going on, but right at the end of the verse there was this like a diving, and we kept just that, and so we do that on there, and then I think the other one that you liked was is actually Mike's bass. That we did that. I think we did that after. I think it was the same day that you tracked, but I think we did it hours later. I think we were like packing up, ready to go, and I was picking up my pedals, and I said, "Oh, I brought this synth pedal for you, and we didn't do it. And then we found out it only worked if you hit the one line, one note. So yeah, it's right at the end of the chorus is this meow sound, and it fit. It takes that song from being terrestrial to extraterrestrial.
It was one small move, but it had.
Yeah, that's my favorite. That was my favorite last second move that we did with it of making this really fun. What else do we have? There's so much about this song that I liked.
That's the first song on the album. We wanted a driving song that just kind of just hits right away. It's got a cool intro. It's fun to play. It's I just think it's a good high energy song to start the band off with.
I agree. It's bold, brash, and it demands a listen.
Yeah.
And it's when you see the lyrics written out for all the songs, this one doesn't have a lot. There's not this one. This one says a lot without saying a lot. I think there's not a lot to this one. Lyrically, I think the song just works as a whole. This is a really fun song to do. I think this is the second song I recorded at the studio. So this was the where they got a taste of how many guitars we're gonna have on every tune. And then the one thing, we're showing this song to a person a couple weeks ago, and they thought that the low vocal on the chorus was an effect. And actually, I did sing that. That actually is my low voice. It's not real noticeable there, but that was actually how we built the vocal track. It's easier to build from the bottom and go up. So actually, I did the whole song in this low voice the whole time, so that I've got nothing, none of wisdom. That's what I sang on there, and it's just barely there. But I see kind of where somebody would think that it does sound like an effect.
Pitch shifted it or something.
But I had to do it in the time of the other parts, so to build from. So it's not really a harmony. It was almost like it was a main vocal that was just never gonna be the main vocal. So that was kind of fun to put together, and it was not on the other mixes that we had. It was when Todd got us our first mixes that it was on there. I said the same thing. I'm like, where did that come from? He's like, that was what was there first. That was track one, and because I thought it doesn't need to be thrown away.
Yeah.
So that was
That's Twisted.
Yeah, we like Twisted. So listen to it on repeat. Right on iTunes.
Spotify.
Our shows. Buy it at our shows.
Well, that concludes this version of our podcast, broadcast, simulcast, whatever you want to call it. But thank you for tuning in to Destroy the Planet TV.
Beyond our reach, on my